This is the Ruger 1022. I'm going to make a three-part video series where I'm going to disassemble, I'm going to clean it in the second video, and I'm going to reassemble it in the third video. So if you need help with just one of those areas, you don't have to watch the full-length video for it. So this first part, I'm going to go over the disassembly of the Ruger 1022 and the tools and the process I go about doing it. It's pretty simple, so stick with me. Now, a couple things I use for disassembly. I'm going to be wearing glasses. That's because we're going to be using an impact device. It's not really needed per se. It's just a safety precaution I'd like to put out there. Of course, you need your 1022. Also, bring your magazines along if you want to clean them out. Now, you don't need this, but it's going to help your screws last a little bit longer. It's a simple firearm toolkit, or where the biggest importance, I don't know how well you're going to be able to pick this up, but the blade on these screwdrivers is flat for the first, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. What that's going to do is that's not going to swell out your screw heads. So that's toolkit that you'll need, and just some sort of box that you don't mind crushing a little bit, but I don't know, about 2 or 3 inches tall. That's going to help. We'll see in a minute when we use our punch. Now, most people will recommend a brass punch. Quite frankly, it's a 1022. I take care of it, but at the same time, I don't mind if there's a little bit of marring on my pins. So I just use a steel punch I picked up from Lowe's. Now, the first step in handling any firearm, especially when you're going to be cleaning it, is to clear your rifle, clear your firearm, clear your gun, whatever you want to call it. So you can see we actually have 3 loaded magazines, so we're going to set that aside for the moment. First, what we want to do is we're going to rack the slide. What do you know? We had a round in there, so we're going to rack it a couple more times. Let's go and lock it back. We're going to visually inspect and physically inspect. There are no rounds in the chamber, and we are going to continue pointing in a safe direction over here. I'm going to go ahead and empty this out, cut to the next clip. You can have a scope on this. It really won't make a difference. It's not going to change, make it easier or harder. First step we're going to do is screw out our barrel band, and we're using again one of those specific flathead screwdrivers. You only need to give it a couple turns, and it should slide right out. Next, on the bottom of the rifle, again there's a screw here, and we're going to go ahead and take that out all the way. Now here's probably the trickiest point. If you have your safety unsafe, you're going to have to bring it halfway between safe and fire, kind of like a happy medium, and then that should just slide right out of the stock. You're going to tip the front end first. Oh, it should come right out. Shouldn't have any struggle at that point. So we're going to go ahead and flip it back on safe at this point. Now before we go ahead and take all the pins out, we need to make sure the slide is all the way forward. So we're going to go ahead and release that. Make sure it's all the way forward, still unsafe. And now all our pins are going to go in the direction that our shells get ejected. So they're going to go out the right side. So we're going to punch them in. This is where our box comes in handy. So we're not punching into our table. First couple of times it's going to be extremely hard to get these out, and the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. Let's see mine go out just with a tap of a screwdriver. Even my large pin here doesn't even need anything, it just falls right out. I'm going to give those a couple more good taps, make sure it cleared all the way out of there. Alright, now we're free. This is just going to, trigger group's going to come right out. You can go ahead and set that to the side. This part takes a little finagling, but you bring the slide all the way back and you pull up on the bolt, and like I said, it's a little bit finicky, just kind of takes a little bit of wiggling and play with it. What that's going to do is that's going to release your charging handle forward, and once you get that, it's pretty simple because the pressure is off of it. And you see that just fell out. We're going to set that down, and then just take this. There you have it. That is the breakdown of the Ruger 1022. Now we're going to go ahead and clean this out. Check part 2. Check it right here. There's your link. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching if that's all you needed. I'll see you this one day ahead. Peace.